Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about how to actually stop looking for validation when you already know the law of assumption, or about conscious manifesting. And I think this is pretty important for you guys to understand. I don't like clickbait titles like you're doing it wrong. But I'm going to explain why this might be something that's tripping you guys up, because you're actually not doing anything wrong. You're manifesting perfectly all the time. But in fact, when you're looking for validation outside of you, say you know the law, or you are into techniques, affirmations, visualization, imaginal acts, say you've watched like a ton of content, and then you're going and you're checking all the time for evidence in the 3D. I know that's frustrating when people say stop checking, but it really is kind of the key. I'm going to explain to you why you're actually doing things perfectly all the time, but it's always just you versus you. And the second you stop looking for validation, you'll understand what the purpose of these techniques are if you are doing them, and stop getting thrown around and looking for evidence. Okay, so because this is the biggest paradox in manifesting. So if you're still looking for validation outside of yourself, well, firstly, you're still manifesting, but you're manifesting from the identity of I don't have this thing, right? Or you're looking for signs and you're looking for confirmation that say your affirmations are working or your imaginal act is coming to fruition. So essentially, it's not that the affirmations aren't effective or the visualization or whatever isn't effective, but it just means that you are in the awareness that something is not there, okay? So this is very foundational work, guys. And the technique trap. I'm not against techniques. I've talked about this on many videos and I think they're great, but they are a reinforcement tool. They're a self-validation tool. And this is where most people get very confused, okay? They might like watch lots and lots of content, switch up lots of techniques, try lots of things, you know, do their visualizations, do robotic affirming, and they might consistently look and say, well, why isn't my thing here? And we're never doing techniques to get the thing, okay? And it is a follow-up to the last video I did about how you never have to be scared of losing something. I handled like anxiety when you're consciously manifesting, or when it comes to love and relationships, that you're always basically the one that is selecting an experience all the time, and that you are whole and complete, and you are the one that gets to decide anything in your reality because it already exists. So a tool or a technique is basically just you selecting an experience and saying, okay, I'm giving myself this desire because I wouldn't think it if it wasn't already created and complete. Everything exists in the now moment. So you are bringing something that you think of, that you like, that you would enjoy to experience as like something that you will experience into your awareness through your eternal I amness, and I'm the version of me that gets this experience or has this experience, okay? So people get stuck because they affirm and affirm and affirm. Not all of you guys, so I'm not creating that assumption, but some of you, you know, affirm, and then they check immediately to see whether or not the affirmation is effective. So this is kind of like reverse order, okay? And they have that, I'll believe it when I see movement, or I'll relax when I get a text from a person, and then they don't seem to see any changes, okay? So the contradiction here is the outside world has then the authority. Especially you have a lens saying you're in the state and you're observing through a lens of not having, and you're believing that the outside has the authority and it's telling you you don't have it. Okay, so if you can just pause and notice this and don't judge it, okay, but recognize this pattern, and awareness alone will start to loosen this, okay? So you are the exact evidence you're looking for. This is the most important part that people struggle with to accept before it actually really clicks. And I promise if this clicks, or when it clicks, because I know it's going to click for a lot of you, this is the game changer, okay? Let me give you an example. Think about something in your life right now that feels very obvious to you, okay? Maybe you already own a house, some of you, or you already go to your job every day. You're not waking up and going, well, do I have a house or do I have this job? It's just very natural. It's assumed. Now, it is an experience that you're having because it did come to you through you, okay? It's an experience that you have somehow selected through your consciousness. The house already was in existence as a possibility for you to experience before even you moved in or you bought the house, okay? But it's now not something that you see that you need to force or you need validation for, right? It's just something that you had selected and experienced, and now it's like part of your reality. So let's think about this and applying it to a specific person or something that you see as out of reach. Some of you have some like seemingly complex circumstances with specific people, but like I said, everything has the meaning that you give it. So the circumstances mean nothing with the exception of your focus and your attention, okay? But like how I see it, if you think it, as I explained, it already exists. So the version of you with the person already exists. Creation is finished. See my last video. You're making that selection. You're not creating, begging, or hoping for it. You're just choosing it, and you're drawing it into your awareness through the I have it, or I'm the version of me that has the person. So bringing it into your awareness through your infinite potential, and again, check out the last video I did, should, if you understand this, mean that this alleviates this whole thing around needing the validation, because you are self-validating. You're not chasing something, okay? It's simply an acceptance of something that already exists, or a version of a relationship that already exists, and occupying the state, the version of you, okay, your conscious awareness of having it, and that is it. So if your mind keeps snapping back into affirming, visualizing, checking, well, where are they? Why haven't they shown up? Why haven't they done this? Well, again, you are manifesting. You're manifesting perfectly all the time, but you are getting the validation of that, okay? You're self-validating without realizing it. You're self-validating that you don't have it, okay? Works both ways. So this is why looking for signs, evidence, checking the 3D, as all creators and all coaches will tell you, is what slows things down or appears to slow things down, okay? So again, take the same approach as like if you already have a job. Do I have a job? Yes, you have a job. Do I have my SP? Yes, I have my SP, okay? Even if the unseen, it will materialize faster for you, okay, guys? The illusion of it not being there is just literally you not accepting that you have it. So this is going to relax you a lot, and you're going to stop scanning and monitoring and worrying and being concerned whether or not techniques are perfect or imperfect, okay, or looking for the next best technique. It's just getting you to this level of naturalness, okay, neutrality, and even that can just be understanding, like I said, and integrating this idea that you're the only validation, that you're source. As discussed in the previous video. So manifestation becomes effortless when you intellectually accept that you're source, and not just intellectually, but embody it, okay? So stop asking reality to confirm that. And once you do that, you're gonna stop needing proof. And once you stop needing proof and you stop checking, your state of having stabilizes, and everything outside is reflecting you and your state. So it's nothing to do with forcing or begging and doing more affirmations. It's just you not arguing with yourself. Okay, guys? I mean, I really hope that helped. If you are at the stage where you know the law, or you've been watching a lot of content but still feel frustrated, let this land. You don't need to do more. You don't need another technique, although like I said, I'm not against techniques if you're using them for a reinforcement or a self-validation. This is true. But the moment you stop searching for evidence and you know you're the evidence will appear, okay? And the world can only reflect that, who you're being, okay? It's like a reflection of your state of being. That is the evidence. So right now, for those of you that have been doing a million techniques saying, where is it? Well, you're seeing the evidence of the version of you that's wondering, where is it? If you want to go deeper into this work in a more structured way with the embodiment and the practical application of it, how to stabilize your identity, stop reacting to the 3D, staying in the state of the having, the neutrality of the knowing and the having consistently, then I've linked everything below for you. I have a course. I also have a primer that's free, so you can check that out. And if you want to check out the previous video where I remind you that you are the source, and that doing anything as a conscious manifestor is about remembering and not trying, okay? Because you are the source of all of it, and you never have to worry about whether or not something can or cannot happen, whether you do or don't have something. This is all about you being the version of you that knows that only you get to decide what is true, self-validate, and whatever you desire is already created for you. It is at the acceptance of having it that you will have it. And that is all that I have to say. And I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope that it helped. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.